G'day Geeks Corner, this is Jason W. Langworthy doing my very first video, which is a This Is. And this is Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD. It's the HD remake of the 2005 game Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, which was originally on the original Xbox. Unfortunately, the game didn't do very well in sales back then, as it came out about 6 months before the Xbox 360 did, and people weren't really buying for the original Xbox when the next version was, well and truly on its way. It is probably one of my all-time favorite games, on account of it's such a unique title. It's a third-person platformer crossed with a first-person shooter, but not in the traditional sense that you'd expect for a shooter game. This guy right here is the main character, the protagonist, Stranger. He has no other name other than Stranger, at least as far as I know. And he's a bounty hunter. This whole game takes place on the planet Oddworld, in an area in the far west. And Stranger here does his job as a bounty hunter because he needs to earn moolah, which is the currency on Oddworld, to pay off a doctor who he needs to fix a certain problem he's having, which isn't revealed too much later in the game, and I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who has not played this game before and certainly wants to. I've just cashed in my first bounty, which was Blister's Booty, which was the prologue and tutorial of the game. And I've just picked up a new one, which is for Filthy Hands Floyd. The Oddworld games are known for having a slightly dark and unusual sense of humour, as evidenced here by the names of the bounties I've turned in. Blister's Booty, for example, has a brother called Boyle's Booty. Well, this is the third-person part of the game, which doesn't really have a lot of platforming in it right now, but there are some areas coming up a bit later. Probably not going to be in this video, though, on account of editing. Here's a neat little thing. With this remake, Just Add Water, the company who is responsible for doing this, they're remaking the entire series. I'll point out this is the 4th game in that series. They've thrown little Easter eggs like that there just was a Rupture Farms barrel, which spat out Madoc Pops. It's a reference to the 1997 original Oddworld game, Abe's Odyssey. That used to be on PlayStation 1 and PC, and still is on PC and can be bought on the PS3, along with this title, which is a PC and PS3 game now. We've skipped ahead a little bit here, further up the track. These are outlaws. They are the primary minions of the main bosses. There are different versions of them, but we won't get to see them in this video. These generic outlaws are great for the purposes of this is, as they form perfect fodder, I would say, for Stranger's ammo, which we are seeing here now. Stranger's crossbow does not fire bolts, it fires critters, as you can see, and I've just fired a chipunk, which is this neat little critter who will shout insults at the enemy, and occasionally at Stranger from his crossbow, and lure them into traps. Like I lured him close and then used the Bolomite, which is the spider there, to wrap him up. And here I've just got the Zapfly, which the Zapfly serves as your go-to weapon with infinite ammo. It's they're going to lure another minion over here and wrap him up and bounty him. The Zapfly can be charged up to do a lot of damage. It's also got a rapid fire function, which does less damage, but it's also used to knock out critters in the environment, so you can pick them up and reload on the fly. Now, as you can see, I earned a bit of bounty for capturing these guys alive, as we're going to see in a moment here, because I've picked up a Fuzzle, who is the little ball of fuzz there, who looks a little bit shifty there. He's looking around, he's got his teeth out. Uh, and we're going to see what the Fuzzle can do in a moment here. They're like you're setting a trap for the enemies here by using Fuzzles. You just place them somewhere in the environment that you know a bad guy's going to go. For example, I just lured him in with a chipmunk, and now the Fuzzles are on him. And the Fuzzles terrify most enemies and do damage. Like here, they killed the guy, and by bountying him dead, I got significantly less bounty for him. And then we've skipped ahead a bit further to this little hut. Now I can see the guys outside there. So what I'm going to do is this hut is perfectly placed for an ambush situation here. I'm going to lure them in one by one using chipmunks and wrap them up with bolamites as they come in. And as we'll see in a moment here, I'm also going to set another fuzzle trap. This is fairly early on in the main game. It's about 25 to 30 minutes in. So I do not have access to all the ammo types, as you can see from the little red no signs there. And Fuzzle's down by the door. This is just one of the possible play styles that you can adopt for this, is to bait and trap the henchmen here. It's my preferred play style, to be honest. I like the stealth aspects of this game, where you don't just run and gun. You know, you can do it if you like. You know, you don't have to be limited to it. But I always find it's more fun to bait them. And we are bountying a few more henchmen. This is right next to the very first boss battle. And I've just skipped to the end of the encounter, so the boss will show up in a moment. Here we have the Clackers. They form the primary population of this world. They are the townsfolk who hire you to go out and capture these people who've been pestering them, or the outlaws and such. They're not exactly bright, as you're going to see very shortly, I suppose. But yeah, so Oddworld Stranger's Wrath is exclusive to the PlayStation Network and PC via Steam. You can't actually buy a retail copy of the game, unfortunately. But it is a lot of fun. Well worth looking into if you've got the time in your hands. It's a good 6 hours gameplay there if you're interested. And yeah, here we are, and I'm going to leave the video here with Filthy Hands Floyd. This is Jason W. Langworthy for Geeks Corner, signing off.